Draft PPS21 provided for grouped development outside settlement limits, group development in dispersed rural communities of affordable or social housing, and infilling of gaps in ribbons of development. This final version of draft PPS21 introduces further opportunities by defining a ribbon as a minimum of 3 buildings rather than 6 buildings, as has been the practice to date. More significantly, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I have won executive support for a new policy which provides for rounding off or consolidation of clusters of development. These are existing clusters of at least 4 buildings which have developed around focal points like churches or across roads. It makes good sense to allow new dwellings at these clusters, as long as this rounds off and consolidates the existing cluster and does not intrude into the surrounding countryside. Regarding dwellings and farms, consultation respondents told us that it may not always be possible or practicable to build a new dwelling in close proximity to existing buildings and farms. I have therefore revised this policy to allow for an alternative site to be used where it can be demonstrated there are health and safety issues or that the applicant has genuine plans for business expansion. Consultation respondents have also asked us to provide some definitions and clarifications. The final version of PPS21 therefore defines terms such as curtilage, active farm and a substantial and built-up frontage. It makes clear that a non-listed vernacular building should be retained if it makes a contribution to the heritage, appearance or character of the locality, and makes explicit that a building retained as part of a replacement development will not be eligible for replacement again. Such amendments will make PPS21 easier to use. They should help applicants to make better applications and help planners to make better and faster decisions. As with any new policy, senior management will be advising staff to ensure a consistent approach across divisions. I want to turn now to the issue of non-farming rural dwellers. During the review of rural planning policy, some stakeholders suggested that residence or employment in an area or even family connections should entitle people to planning permission for a dwelling. Others called for a test to identify people who really needed to live in the countryside. The Executive Subcommittee considered these ideas very carefully. I can appreciate why some favoured such an approach. However, policies that rely on kinship or residency are unlikely to constitute proper discharge of the Equality and Good Relations obligations under Section 75 of the Northern Ireland Act 1998. They may also be contrary to European law. Difficulties in deriving lawful and objective criteria for such policies mean that they are unlikely to constitute proper planning considerations. However, in view of the interest in the issue of non-farming rural dwellers, it was recognised that more work needed to be done. The Executive therefore agreed that an independent working group with clear terms of reference should be set up to bring forward options.